This is the Starlight Express Alumni Podcast.
Hi, everyone. My name is Lothair Eaton, and I'm from Chicago originally. And yeah, Chi-Town, baby. And yes, I was part of this incredible Starlight Express back in the day. I started in, I can't believe it, 1992. You hear that, Peter? 1992.
Well, I started in 88.
I'm like, 1992.
Yeah, no. But hey, we look good. Hey,
We
so
look
you
good.
started in 92. And
Yeah.
so what was your main role?
Yes, when I started in 92, I actually originally came in as the Papa alternate. They created an alternate position. And as things happened throughout that year, by I think about 3/4 of the way through the year, I ended up being bumped up to first cast. And then the rest is history. The rest of my Starlight time, I played first cast Papa.
Awesome.
Auf Deutsch, yeah.
I love it. And of course, we worked together.
I know.
That was pretty awesome.
Back in the day.
Back in the
Back
day.
when there were Rockies and in the cute little costume. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, those nice little cute. Not like right now they have those baggy costumes now, the hip hop and stuff. It's very different, but obviously we're aging ourselves. Exactly. Yes. So, but how many years did you do? What's the total years that you did?
So my years, if you add them all together, it ends up being about 12 and a half years, 13 years, spread over a 21-year period.
Yeah.
Because like I say, I started, my very first time was in 92, going to Germany. And the last production I did was a UK tour. And I was, that was in 2012 to 13. So between 27 and 49, Charles.
Hey, I hear you. I hear
years spread out. But the longest chunks were, of course, in Germany. The first time I was there for 3 contracts or 3 years. Then I went away, then did Vegas for a year and a half, which was fun too. That each one was fun, but a completely different animal, shall we say? Because Vegas was only 90 minutes, no intermission, a little faster pace, but fantastic production as well. Then I had a little bit of a break, was doing other things, then went back to Germany and did 6 years. Yeah, hello. Did 6 years as Papa. And then, like I say, then a break. Then New Zealand happened. And that was only about 4 or 5 months. I think 4 or 5 months, but beautiful country. Absolutely stunning and great cast, wonderful people out there. And then the last one was the UK tour in 2012, and that was for a year.
Wow, that's awesome, man. That's exciting. Wow, I did just I think about 6 to 7 years total.
Yeah,
over the span, and very exciting. But yeah, gosh, you put in a lot of time on the wheels.
On the wheels, and believe it or not, I still have my original 1992 wheels, baby.
Wow, that's awesome.
I took those wheels wherever I went.
I hear you. And you use those? You use those wheels, or just as something as a lucky charm kind of thing?
Yeah, and they were so comfortable as well. I was like, starting some new skates? No, thank you.
Oh, yeah, I hear you.
The only time I had to, what was it? Vegas. Vegas actually really were sticklers. The equity had made us have 2 different pair, and like our dressers would actually take our skates. So there was no way of getting around it after a show. So then I had 2 pair, but otherwise I pretty much wore my original skates for all the way through.
Wow, that's funny. I know I still have my skates. They're not the original because they had the Lonesdale boots. The boots fell apart. But they end up going to the Schneiders and the boots for the last couple of years that I was there. And so I still have those bad boys. That was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
So I know, the years that you put in and a lot of memories. There's a lot of memories. And so I have a bit of a challenging question for you. Are you ready for that?
All right, dum dum dum. Let's hear it.
What is, and again, I'll like maybe think three of them, but the challenge is this: what's your greatest memory? Now, I asked that question. The first thing that comes to mind right now: greatest memory, ready and go.
Greatest memory. There's so many. It's like things are rumbling and jumbling through my head.
Everything that jumps out.
Okay, well, I'll just say, doing the first time on that stage, being a part of the show, and then feeling that love from the German audience. There's not a whole lot of experiences that are quite like that German audience back in the day, and still as well, I believe. But
right.
That feeling of, oh my God, I just accomplished this. Even though I was a little slow in my race, whatever, in the beginning.
The German stage is huch, my friend. It's huge.
And we have to build up our speed, shall we say.
Oh, yeah.
But just that first moment of accomplishing it, being on that stage and truly feeling that love from that audience, as well as the cast members, because everyone knows what everyone's going through, and to get ourselves to that point. And there's something really special and magical about that production, and like I say, and that crowd, that German audience, they still love and go crazy for the show.
But you know what? It's all the shows that I've done, and I don't know. Let me know if you agree with this.
Yeah.
But the rehearsal process and the training that I put in for Starlight Express was unlike any other. And I did Hershey Park. That was rough because it was tap shoes.
I did Hershey Park.
That was, oh gosh, that was. But Starlight, and I also did Sesame Street Live. Plus, all the West Side Stories, which was easy. It was nothing compared to Starlight Express.
No, they're really. Show-wise, no. There is no other show that I've done that compares to what everything that is needed and that has to really come together for you to be able to perform whatever role, or any of the roles in the show. Yes, without question. Without question. Starting with Michael Fraley for the first months.
Yeah.
Skate with that stick. I think any of us, even if we don't see Michael Fraley for a million years, we can hear his voice.
Oh, yeah.
If you think about Michael Fraley, you can hear that voice, and you can think of carpet skating. Oh, my Lord, not carpet skating. All these things that you say something, and then instantly there's that body reaction and that feeling of, wow. Yeah.
Well, it's funny. Renee just went up to New York. She's been in New York, and so she wanted me to ask you this question. She says, "You got to ask him this, and ask all the Starlighters this. Did you dream of Starlight when you were doing Starlight, like in nightmares or?"
It happened, of course it did.
Like being thrown on stage naked.
But Peter, the thing is, years after it's all over, occasionally I will still have a Starlight dream where there's one for me that, like, one of my recurring ones, shall we say, over the many years, is not knowing if I'm on that day. It's, how dreams go. They're kind of, time is kind of weird. Not for sure if I'm on that day when I come in, and then suddenly I've got to rush to get the makeup on and rush to get everything on, and suddenly we're getting towards Starlight sequence, and I'm like, oh my God, I have to get up the stairs. And, being late to get up to the top level to start singing Starlight sequence, those kind of crazy things.
Wow.
Crazy things.
Well,
gonna make me laugh.
Here's the next question. Thank you so much for sharing. The next thing is this, and the years that you've put in at Starlight and the memories and all that. I know as I reflect back, there are a lot of life lessons that I learned.
Yeah.
And so what's the greatest life lesson that you learned and from Starlight that you reflect on that to this day? It's something that it's something that's just going to be with you for your whole life.
Yes. Well, for me, easily I can say hands down is just to know that within yourself that if you really want something, and really believe in it, you can make it happen. That's which I guess that's part of the story of Starlight as well. But my beginning, I don't know if you remember, I had a very special beginning where the second day of skate school, I broke my right ankle.
All right.
Right?
Oh my God, that's right.
And so I was being watched over by the angels, truly, because it didn't hurt. I was like, ooh, Michael Fraley and Freddie Bottini, they're like, don't move. And, clearly it was broken. And they got me to Berkmansile that day. And that afternoon, it was afternoon, really early afternoon. And they were like, yes, it's broken. It's got broken, yeah. No German, none at this point. But the doctors, of course, spoke English. Hallelujah.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, had the operation right there, was in post-op that evening. Blessed the night nurses, loved them, but they spoke no English. And we had to play charades, Peter, because that was the first time that anything hurt. And I was looking at I looked at my ankle, and I went, ow, ow, and then went, ah. And they went, Schmerztabletten? I was like, yeah, Schmerztabletten. Good answer.
That's funny.
That was unfortunately the beginning, but that was really, I would say, the worst of my many years of doing it. And I was lucky to heal well through it all. And I started, instead of being able to skate, then I started learning the German. And then eventually I'd come in and watch the big rehearsals, just learn as much as I can and have music rehearsals. But it was pretty major. And I had friends that told me, my goodness, if that had happened to me, I would have come home.
Yeah, that's an interesting observation. I'm thinking, did you, I know I do. I broke my hand in rehearsals up in Hamburg. When we opened the show, we started in Hamburg first. They had this makeshift set in Hamburg studios.
Cool.
And I broke my hand. And I had to get a surgery and everything like that. And while I was going through it, it was a lot of pain. And again, like your experience, no one spoke English. And I remember them taking my hand, pulling my hand all the way down here and say, yeah, das ist gebrochen. Das ist gebrochen.
All right.
Like, great. No one spoke English. And the pain. And I remember going through the process and doubting whether I should be here or not. Did you have any doubts at that point that whether you should be doing the show or not?
Well, I'm going to be honest. That's why I say I just in my heart, I had decided I was going to play this role. I had fallen in love with the role. I had seen it. They actually sent me to see it because when I first auditioned for it, it was still running on Broadway. So they sent me to see it there. And so I'd seen it there. And then we had arrived in Germany and I had seen the production there. And I was like, this is just stupendous. This is just incredible. And so, to be honest, no, there was not a moment that I thought I'm going home.
Right.
It really wasn't. I just had it in my head that somehow I was going to heal and I was going to be all right and somehow be able to skate this show. And please, there was lots of nerves and fear, and even I don't know if I should say this or tell this little before my very first skate rehearsal, once I had healed, and so it was private with me and Michael and Freddie, I believe, and no one was in the theater, and so I get there and I'm standing in my skates over on the side, over with stage right or German left, I guess so. And I was like, oh my God, look at this. So, the heart's kind of beating a little bit. And I'm like, okay, I'm here. Somehow I need to get over this thing and get to the middle to the stage. Peter, I swear to God, I slowly got myself over the thing, over the rail. I looked around to be sure nobody was there. I'm not lying. I got on my knees, child. I got on my knees, and I got out to the center, went over the little hill, which we know it's not a very big hill from the side to go into the, into the deck of the stage. But if you know what you're doing and you're a little nervous, a palpitation.
Oh wow!
And I got there. No one was looking. At least I hope nobody. I don't think anybody was looking. And I got up and waited for Michael to come in. So, that's
awesome.
There were nerves, absolutely. Well, but I really had fallen in love with it, and I've just had a really strong desire to do the role once I was there.
Yeah. Well, and obviously you did an incredible job, and
thank you.
Survived it. It toughened you up, and you got out there. Now you're one of the legends of Starlight Express. It's funny because everywhere Renee and I go, we meet other artists or we meet people around the world. Yeah. They, either they're artists that would have always wanted to do Starlight Express, or they saw Starlight Express and just the physicality of it, and it just boggles, it blows people's minds.
Yeah.
Especially when they know the German production and the staging of that. And I also remember my first time on the set after breaking my thumb. Someone took a picture of I'm behind Renee going down the profile, and I'm scared to death. We're just going down the profile, and I'm like got my toe stopped in that profile, going so slow. I thought it was holding Renee. It's a great picture that's up on our studio right now. But
fantastic!
I love it, and the lesson of for life to always work hard, never ever give up is a great lesson that goes everywhere with you. Now, I do want to let people know. I mean, right now, what you're doing. So, what are you doing now? Because I know you're doing a lot of stuff with your voice. You're still, you're going out there, you're doing some commercials. I saw some of your commercials.
I've been really blessed lately. In particular, the commercial world is opening up for me, and I've got a great commercial agent. We've been together actually just a year. We're starting into our second year together. So I've been getting some great commercial experience in the last 2 years.
Now, if somebody wanted to get a hold of you, what's the best way for them to get a hold of you if they want to find out more about your work, or
well, you can go to my website is always up at www.lothaireaton.com.
Perfect.
That's probably the best. Yeah.
It's a great site. I've been there. It's a beautiful site. You did a great job.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Great job. And I will share. I'll go ahead if you don't mind. I'll share below. You singing that great video with you and Bernie.
That was a special moment.
Yeah, it's a great video. I love it. So I'm going to make sure it'll be here, right? So everyone, right below, you can see it there if you're watching, listening to this, or watching this video on the blog. It's right below. Also, links to Lothair's website. Find out more about what he's doing. And I also know you are also doing vocal coaching.
Yes, I am. Which I actually started doing while I was in Germany the last time. So once I had finished the show, but I was still in Germany and doing gigs and living life and doing what you do. Oh. I began this journey of vocal coaching. And it has just grown, basically. And once I got to New York, I thought, well, okay, this is New York and land of big music directors and, and all that. But I thought, at some point, look, come on, let's give it a go. Why not? And it is. It's growing bit by bit. A little bit roller coaster, but it's doing all right. I can't complain.
That's awesome. Now, I'll make sure that everyone has a link to that, because they can get that information on your website, lothaireaton.com.
Yes.
And so it'll be right below, and so that people know how to get a hold of you if they want to find out more about you and connect with you if you're in New York.
Yes.
You can also do it like this. Anywhere in the world. Renee does that. Anywhere in the world, she does coaching with people, even in England, with coaching people in England.
Yeah, I've done some online coaching as well. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And Facebook, of course, the land of Facebook, which people are poo-pooing a bit, but how phenomenal Facebook is to keep people connected.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I love it. I'm a total social geek and technology. That's me. And I have absolutely zero complaints. But I'm loving it.
No, it's great.
We have Lothair, thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate you taking the time out in your day.
Oh, please. My pleasure. It's great chatting with you, Peter. Really.
Oh, wow.
Take care, Peter.
Take care. Bye. Thank you, everyone, for joining me on this episode of Starlight Express Alumni Podcast. Next week, I will get together with another alumni. Be sure to subscribe. You can subscribe right here on the website at starlightexpress.club. We are definitely on the iTunes and Stitcher, and we're looking to get on the other platforms, so make sure you check there, subscribe there, and stay connected. If you are Starlight alumni, please be sure to reach out to me if you would like to be on the podcast. Would love to hear your stories and share your story with the Starlight Express fans and other alumni. Look forward to sharing with you next week. Everyone, have a great day.